Hello and welcome everyone. It's good to be back. Last week I enjoyed some vacation, which was like really needed. Sadly, I missed a lot of action, and I'm here today to cover what happened and what I personally believe is going to happen over the next coming months. Obviously, we're going to start off with Bitcoin as usual. If you have any questions, please just put them in the YouTube box and I will answer whatever I can. So without further ado, let's get over to Bitcoin. I'm just going to remove my pitchfork because it's not really necessary for what I'm about to show you guys. Let me just fix this. Going to get it on the log scale. There we go. So what's happening over the past few weeks is as follows. Bitcoin is making the same bottom over and over again. However, as you can see, and I thought this was a breakout, sadly it wasn't. On each bounce, we have made a lower top. Now, what this means is that currently the bears are still in control. And to some extent, this worries me because, as you can see here on the right side, below 6,100, there is very little volume. And then below 5,600, there's just no volume whatsoever to catch any kind of dump. So if we are indeed going to make another low high, in that case, I do think it is likely that eventually this 6K level will fail to hold, basically making a massive breakout on the downside. Right here, there's just not a lot that can stop it. And it is very likely, in my opinion, that if this happens, we will dump to at least 4,500 USD. That being said, we're still above this level. So as long as we stay here, we should all be fine. Obviously, I'll be looking for a weekly close below my drawn support due to the fact that, last time it almost, catched me in a fake breakout. So that's what I'm eyeing right now. The other possibility we have is that we will break the previous lower high, setting a higher high. And at that point, we can start looking at Bitcoin in a bullish manner. Till we've done so, there's very little that we can do right now. On the shorter term, so we're just going to move over to the 1 hourly chart. Actually, let's do the 4 hourly. Here we go. On the short term, you can see that we clearly are in the last accumulation area, which is sitting, let me get this right. I'd say this is, probably the range we should be looking at. Obviously, during the last dump, we did break out of this range, but only slightly. Total fake out here on Bitcoin side. As you can see, the volume here is significantly lower as well. So I think that if we do break the previous low, 6K is most likely just not going to hold. I'm not taking any position right now. That's different for Ethereum. If we go over to Ethereum on Bitfinex, let me zoom this chart out, you can see that there's something very interesting happening here. As you can see, there is this massive volume spike between 300 and 330. My personal belief is that this thing is standing between Ethereum that will just hold this level, or also very likely a drop down to 230 at least. This is not only based on the volume, obviously, this is also based on previous price action within the chart. As you can see, this level was like hugely important, 230, 190. I'm not going to make any exact levels here. What I am doing, however, is picking up some Ethereum here. I've got two reasons for that. First and foremost, this is the area that's covered by the 786. If we zoom out, you can see that the 786 is the last Fibonacci level standing between, a reasonable price action or just general doom, big crash, 200 USD, something like that. I'm currently picking up ETH on the bottom here. It's not a big position, it's a small position. I've also posted it in the Discord group. And my main reason for this is just this massive volume area. This got at least twice the volume that any other area has, and is, in my opinion, key. So if we do manage to bounce here, I think that we should be looking at a sell target of about 370, something like that. And I'm basing this off the previous tops that we had in July last year, and also the bounce that we had in April. If we drop down a line there, you can see that's about 380, 370. So that's where my target will be. Obviously, it's not a high target, but I'd rather be careful right now due to the fact that we have broken this range, even though the volume range here is much more beneficial, and we do have the 786. It's definitely something to watch. Let's see. Do we have any questions? Okay, not right now, I reckon. So what's the game plan here? It's relatively simple for me. As you can see, Ethereum for me is a leading alt. A lot of people look at Bitcoin to see what alts are going to do. I prefer to look at Ethereum. If we drop through this level here, then we will most likely extend the alt bear market for at least 4 to 6 months. For Bitcoin, kind of the same story. Here we go. Bitcoin drops below the 6K level that I have marked earlier in the live stream, then the bear market will most likely be extended until the end of the year. So for me, this is a very, very big deal. If we do bounce here, personally, I will see some hope for another bull market at the end of this year. If we don't, better hold on to your horses, because things will actually get ugly. Same counts for the overall total market capitalization. As you can see, the Bitcoin dominance is growing. Personally, I think this is a good thing. If we're gonna have all these alt runs again, alt parties like we had last year, we're gonna need a lot of fuel for it to happen. And Bitcoin is obvious the most important fuel there is for crypto, as to call it, fuel, liquidity, whatever. And I think it would be nice to pump this to at least 60%. Anything higher than that could be bad for alts, given the fact that a lot of alts actually die in bear markets. To showcase this, let's go to historical snapshots. Just gonna go over to, I don't know, 2015. And as you can see, a lot of these coins just don't exist anymore. They're gone. And this is what I personally expect from this bear market. I expect all the shit coins to be gone. People will just judge them very sharply for, launching with only a white paper and being evaluated at 4 billion. That's one of these examples. So this is definitely, a new crypto age, and I think this is only the second time this happened. If we look on the history of Bitcoin, we only really had one giant bear market. Obviously we had a correction in 2013. We had several corrections, 2012, but a true bear market can be really nasty. As showcased on the previous bear market, this lasted for 2 years. The current bear market is only underway for, almost a year. I think we're getting close to a year. So worst case scenario is that we are not going to be bullish until halfway next year. Does this mean you should sell all your alts and, just be gone out of crypto? Obviously not. This is the time to accumulate alts. And some of the best alts out there are sub 50 million USD market cap. So think, for example, about Trade Token. And for this, we're just going to go over to Coinigy. Trade Token is one of these gems that are like super low. Here you go. They're reaching their, all-time bottom. And they could potentially even go below that. That being said, there is something you guys should know about, bear markets and bull markets. If you manage to, get your positions in this area, just get your alt positions halfway through the bear market, it's not going to matter if you buy at 3,500 Satoshi or 2,500 Satoshi or 5,000 Satoshi. What's going to matter is that you have some good coins, some good positions, and then you just wait for this to happen. For example, we have Dash. Obviously this was one of my most profitable trades ever. It doesn't really matter if you bought at 0.02 or 0.015. In the end, you could have made a whole stack. And this is what I'm currently personally doing. And I'm just going to tell you guys which coins I am eyeing. One of the coins is Trade Token. Trade Token is an upcoming exchange and liquidity pool in Geneva, or a Swiss, trying to get a Swiss bank license. And I think they're really great. TA wise, obviously it doesn't look all that good. However, if we go to CoinMarketCap, you can see that the market cap is only 60 million. And this is what I always personally look at. What is the market cap? And what is the potential the token has? And where can we go? So 60 million USD, that's like nothing, right? Most of the exchange tokens are at 200 million, something like that. And that's a straight 10x from here. Something else I'm currently eyeing is BNB. BNB is Binance Coin. Obviously, as you know, Binance recently made $1 billion profit. And that while the market cap is only just 1 billion. So this is a business that makes a whole lot of profit. They're using these profits also to, buy up their coin, basically pump the price. And I think 1 billion is massively undervaluated. If we do get into another bull run, I think Binance could be looking at $5 billion profits, stuff like that, so that would instantly 5x it. TA wise, it's a different story. As you can see, we had a massive support at 0.0018, which appears to be, getting hammered very badly. If we do break through this, then my buy level will be sitting at 0.0014. Also, if we check some of the indicators, you will see that there is actually some room for another move down, especially on the daily. So this is something that I will add to my portfolio. Same goes for KuCoin shares. EOS, especially EOS, if we just check out EOS on the USD chart, you can see that it's reaching all-time low. I believe EOS will play a significant part in the development of blockchains in the future. And, personally, I believe this has more potential than Ethereum does. For the very simple reason, Ethereum also has the transaction limit problem. They still haven't solved it. 40 transactions per second, that's basically nothing, especially if you're gonna have to support a whole ecosystem of altcoins. My buy range is very simple. I will start buying at $4. I've been saying this for a while. I still have like 20% of my original position, but I do intend to increase this rather soon. Personally, I don't think this area here can ever be broken, and if it does, I'll just buy more. So yeah, obviously all the other coins I have, you can just check them out on the Discord in the portfolio. That being said, things are still looking relatively good. You know, we are still above that 6,000 level, and there is some hope for the bulls. Absolutely, there's like definitely some hope, but it could be short-lived. So I want you guys to think about that over the next 2 weeks. If we do go up, do not become too excited. You know, we're still in a bear market, but it's looking better by the day. And one thing we should all remember is that we have not broken this year's low since, you know, February. Obviously, we did here, but we did it so briefly, I don't think that truly counts. And, you know, I'd say this is more of a sideways bear market. And what's good about sideways bear markets is that it happened before. It happened in 2013. Kind of the same story. In April, it set the low, and it really didn't break the low after that. You know, obviously this was different in 2014. The low was set at about 400 USD, and after a while, they went below 400 USD all the way down to 146. You know, so as long as we stay above that level, I'm gonna be good. I will try to make some calls in the Discord group over the next coming days. Obviously, these will be most likely short-term calls because, you know, for the longer term, I think we're gonna have to wait for some kind of bearish or bullish confirmation. You know, I don't want to be taking too much risk. I think in times like these, it is vital, it is essential to put risk management over, you know, getting potential profits. That being said, there is room to play, and you know, together we can make some great trades. So yeah, basically that's what I'm thinking right now. Do we have any questions in the YouTube? Oh yeah, good words on Lux, absolutely. You should check out John McAfee's Twitter. There's a lot of information about Lux there, and they, you know, here's the deal, right? Even though Lux isn't sitting very comfortably at the moment, you know, it's almost to its all-time low. In my opinion, it doesn't matter. Currently, Lux is sitting at a market cap of 5 million USD. You know, if you look at the amount of development they're doing, the amount of time they're putting into this, you know, the things they are building, they're not just building an, you know, Ethereum ERC20 coin. They're actually building a whole new ecosystem with master nodes, proof of stake, proof of work, lots of other stuff, you know. So I think in fundamentals, this is one of the strongest coin there is at this moment. The problems are marketing, obviously, right now, but not only marketing, also the fact that they have not been able to get on a proper exchange. And I think once you know, the community actually realizes this, that Lux is like an awesome coin for the long term, you know, this could be beneficial to the price, which would allow the Lux developers to pay like a large exchange to get on there, and after that, it should be a party. In my personal opinion, this should be sitting at least 200 million USD market cap, maybe higher, and I think it will reach that one day. So if you divide 250 million by 5 million, you get a factor of 50. So every dollar you put into this could be $50 or 100, or it could be gone. So just to make it absolutely clear, I do not recommend over investing in microcaps, especially newly developed microcaps. Just put some money in that you can miss, and then if it's 100x's, that's great. If it doesn't, you will not be wrecked. That's the way I would personally play this. So yeah, I can see some requests. I will do the requests that have been made right now, starting with OMG. Not sure what market cap we are on right now for Amisgo. 500 million. Just going to find an exchange with some more data. There we go. So, here's the deal, right? OMG is getting very close to what I would call final support. That's right here. Usually, it is good to scoop in some buys here. But in this case, given the fact that OMG has a 500 million USD market cap, markets aren't looking too good. I would be looking to get my buys in anywhere between, let me get this right, anywhere between 17,000 Satoshis and let me just grab the log scale here. Can't really use this there. Okay, so again, anywhere between 17,000 Satoshis and probably something like 25,000 Satoshis. Personally, I do not believe these levels are going to hold, and this is something that you see on a lot of alts. For example, if we go to Stratus on Bittrex, you will see that it had the same kind of pattern. It had some lows here that could act as support, and it just crashed through it. And this is a pattern that repeats on plenty of alts. I think OMG is a little bit more early in the process of doing so, but I do believe it will fall through the previous lows and make a new low. This is just a capitulation process. It's not something that will permanently damage the coin or whatever, but that's just how it goes. Oh, yeah, the team is actually why I'm so excited about Trade Token Old School. The team is like super solid. They've been in the banking world for quite a long time. They have a ton of experience. They've raised a lot of money. They are on point with their marketing. So that's why Trade Token is currently one of my biggest positions. Next request is for Zeliqua. Same story. I would absolutely not recommend buying this here. Probably what we're going to see is massive capitulation. The market cap of Zeliqua is currently 260. The problem here is that there is no volume. I always say 10% of the market cap is good volume. At that case, it's possible to sustain a price. This is obviously not anywhere near 10%. That's the reason I would probably suggest to stay away from this until you can see like a very, very large red candle capitulation point, probably somewhere around, 299, 250. At that point, it's good to buy the dip because, if there's a panic, the first thing you should do is looking for a buy zone. If there's a major FOMO, the first thing you should do is looking for a sell zone. So that's how you make the profits. And I would not recommend buying right here, but it could be a good buy in the near future. Oh, let's check the market cap. And yeah, kind of same story here. 141 million USD market cap, about 3 million volume. Not nearly enough to sustain this price. There's not much for me to go off, given that only the Binance exchange has the Puni data, and this isn't looking too good. So, based off, general thoughts, I would absolutely not recommend buying this right now. There's a total lack of volume, and it seems like the whole market is just into major panic. Wait for this to cool down. That's what my suggestion would be. I agree. KMD is a good product. The only thing they're lacking is marketing, and personally, I really hate this, but marketing is the most important thing about any project in the crypto space. If you're looking to make money. And sadly, this is the hard truth. Obviously, just to get on Binance, apparently it costs like 2 million USD. It's crazy stuff like that. So you really need a lot of money in order to successfully launch any products. So yeah, basically that is what I'm looking at right now. Personally, no real short-term positions yet. We are in some key points, and I just really want to prevent me choosing the wrong direction right now. So when we do get a major confirmation, that's when I will be, setting up the positions. You can obviously find these in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord yet, make sure to check out cryptocampus.io. BrickX news, yes, of course. Okay, so there was a couple of things we needed to do, and I'll just explain these in short. We had to set up a new website. We had to set up a new white paper. We had to set up marketing funnels, marketing plans, get contact with influencers. Basically, what is happening right now is we have a 12-man team, basically working full time for the preparation of the BrickX marketing. This will be finished this week, as I said last week. And once everything is finished, so think about SEO, SEA, funnels, good products, good presentations, video clips, everything. That's when we really can start doing the paid advertising. And this should be probably anywhere next week. And at this point, it's very good to know that the product is also pretty much finished. We have some short, demos of the product. And the nice thing is that you will be able to trade, real estate like this. So just the way you're going to trade Bitcoin, you're going to have a chart of a building that looks like this. People can buy like 1% of this building, or maybe 1 per mil, whatever, and they will trade it like this, and that is really revolutionary. Doesn't exist today. Doesn't exist. And that's why personally I believe BrickX is going to be huge. Also, we've expanded our team. As you can see, we have a lot of knowledgeable people. We have everything covered, and we're actually almost ready to go. So that's like very positive. I think we will fill the whole ICO very, very quickly. Main reason is that we have investors actually signed in letters of intent, to do multi-million dollar investments, and we're working very hard on that. Boss is going to Silicon Valley very soon to meet up with them, so I'm overall very, very positive. I just hope that Bitcoin will not wreck everything and decide to dump below 6K and just basically fall through this volume gap. So yeah, that's it from my side. I hope this will be a really productive week. I think it will, personally. I can see a lot of members making a very good progress in the Discord. I can see that people who used to make a lot of losses now are starting to flip to gains. So overall, I'm very proud of where we are today. And, hopefully next year we can do like a big campus party on a yacht or whatever. So thank you for watching, and, happy trading.